and welcome back to Art Therapy with Jenn. Today I'm working in my Dark Dystopian themed magazine collage art journal, and today we are working on chapter 22, which is actually the next to last chapter in this journal. Oh my gosh, I know I say it about every week, but can y'all believe it? Oh my goodness. But anyway, I will get back to that in a second. If you haven't seen my Dark Dystopian series or new to my channel, this particular series, what I do is I do a different page in this journal every week, which is a new chapter exploring this dark dystopian world. Just kind of journal and go along with it, and we try to see if we get a story along the way. What is revealed more about this world and what has gone on, and etc. and so forth. And I usually start, as y'all see there, by setting up my background. I have little bits of paper all around my desk, and I just put some good music on or a show, and I just sit there and just kind of unwind and just intuitively pick pieces out that I think just might need to go on the page. Now with this one, it looks like we're coming together with a lot of black and white and grays, but my eye is drawn to that little hut with the fire in it. So I wonder if that's going to tie in some way. What y'all think? It's always neat to, kind of go back and see as I was doing it and kind of see things come together. And then every time I look at these pages, I see a little something different. So it's always interesting. And some of these I'm doing kind of fussy cuts, like that building to the upper right and then that building toward the middle. Some I'm just ripping the edges, and some I just have straight edges. There isn't a rhyme or reason. We're just gluing things and going with it. And I did find these two images that are really silver metallic, and I wanted to use them in this journal, but until today they weren't calling out to me. So I have that like kind of shards of mirror thing, and then this is a fussy cut building that's just like so metallic, it's almost like a mirror or something. I don't know, it's very striking. But let's take a closer look at our background to see what we're working with and what's the starting off point. It's a really cold, wintry mood, isn't it? But we got that fire over there. So next I like to add the focal images, the people, the characters, what have you. And I'm going to start with this girl here. Forget what magazine she was on the cover of, but she was so striking when I saw her on the cover that I knew I wanted to use her in this journal. And I think it was a few chapters back we were talking about flowers that we'd been seeing all throughout these pages, and I knew they were probably going to mean something, but I wasn't sure exactly. And again, no right or wrong answers, but to me it's almost that, how did I word it last time? I'm not the best at wording things, y'all. But it's almost that free thinking, away from any type of outside influences or brainwashing or anything like that. It's kind of that inner voice you have, that inner ability to make choices for yourself, I guess, if that makes sense. And then to the right, I'm adding the girl up top who's having a really awesome freeing day up there with her arms stretched out, and then this girl here who looks like she's just taking a really deep breath, like things are happening. Maybe flowers are blooming. I like a good pun, y'all. I like a good pun. But anyway, let's get on to the words. Now we're going to have a lot of things, as I say, Frankenstein together, because this is the next to last chapter. So my word bin, I'm having to get a little more creative with it. Which honestly, it would almost be neat to have a word bin where you just have single words all chopped up, and you can do what you will with them. But toward the upper left there, I'm going to be putting 3 separate pieces together to say healing with intention, things closer to normal. That sounds pretty hopeful. Hopeful's good with all this dark dystopian things we've had the last few chapters, isn't it? Maybe that has to do with those flowers blooming out from her. The flowers are growing despite all the concrete, metal, and effort that went in, on top of them to kill them out. But toward the bottom left, I'm going to be putting 3 pieces together down here as well. It's going to say, seeing life at the end of the tunnel. So, this when you thought you were stuck and unable to change, or that there wasn't anything ahead, there might be life at the end of that long tunnel. What y'all think? I know we saw a couple back, kind of a sanctuary for people wanting to get out. See people fighting back. Maybe these are some of the people that are being helped. And then in the upper right, this was actually 1 piece, but it was too long to fit on here, so I cut it into 2 because I can. And it's going to say, unlock the bright. And then under that to the left, I'm going to put escape. And then below that, it's going to say push comes to shove. These girls are putting in some work. But they can see the light. And it might take a lot of planning, and it might take a lot of, networking and things, but they're eventually able to escape. Then there, in front of the redheaded girl, I put, and it's in quotes, it says, speak the truth, even if your voice shakes. And then toward the bottom of the page, I'm going to be putting 2 different pieces together, and it's going to say, truth matters now more than ever. Maybe there's a big thing with even just realizing, like if you don't even know you've been through these things, or you've had these, we've talked about that theme of the factory. You have to kind of come to terms with what even happened. And then I found this, it kind of fell out, and I put on the page, it says sow and grow. So we'll take a look at it with the words there. And then y'all know I got to do some doodling and going on and mystifying and Sharpie. This is the next morning, and I'm in my bathrobe. I'm that dedicated. My hair wasn't even dry yet. There's Mr. Ollie. He's assisting me with this chapter. It did go through rigorous approval with him, so we're all good. I'm just taking a Sharpie and outlining her, and then I have a black gel pen. I'm just going to be adding some scribbles around some text. I just like to have that type of texture. I don't know, it has like energy on there for me. And then I have a white gel pen because I know I wanted to highlight these flowers, and I wanted them to look more than just flowers, almost like they're, I don't know, they're not just flowers. They're like literal flowers to me. They're figurative flowers that are kind of blooming out from her as her eyes are getting opened back up as she's seeing that other things are possible, etc. and so forth. And the white gel pen didn't do it for me, so I'm going to go in with trusty old paint pen, and I'm just going to be going around, and before it dries completely, I'm just going to take my finger and kind of rub it out so it looks almost like there's energy coming off of it, or mist, or even smoke. Just some type of, I don't know, glow, if you will. And then just to add some more energy and texture on that, I'm going to go around and outline, but very scribbly, so like not single line, just to add again some more like visual energy to it. And then I'm just going to go around the girl with her arms outstretched and add almost like sun rays coming from her, like she's out there. I could just imagine her standing out there, and sometimes you just want to look at the sun and just scream and just let some stuff out. And that's what I kind of imagine. And here's what the finished page looks like for our next to last chapter, 22. What y'all think? It's kind of nice to take a little bit more positive note since we've had the last few pretty heavy chapters. But I think it's a pretty powerful page, and I like that the background, although it wasn't intentional, but looking back as it, after the fact, it's kind of neat to see what lines up. But you have that fire poking through there in the middle of this like snow field, and that kind of resonates with me, with the flowers blooming when didn't think they could anymore, and sow and grow. And then we even have that white building there, and the building in the upper right hand corner. And I don't know, is that the place they're staying, or is that the place they escaped from? I don't know. Who's helping them? I don't know. But I don't know. I really like how this page come out. I like the turn, and it's showing us that there is some hope. And I'm really curious to see what the last chapter is going to reveal to us to tie up this world, or maybe even, give us more food for thought for, additional stories to go. But again, thank y'all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this chapter. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it yet. Maybe Sow and Grow, Escape, Closer to Normal. I don't know, but y'all will know by the time this uploads. Thank y'all so much, and I will see y'all next week with the final chapter in this journal. Bye, guys.